I'd now like to introduce Justin Bassi, the Executive Director of the Australian Strategic Policy Institute, to provide opening remarks.
I would first like to thank Uncle Alan for that welcome to country, and I'd like to begin by acknowledging the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, the traditional custodians of the land on which we're meeting, and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. I extend that respect to Indigenous people here today. Ladies and gentlemen and distinguished guests, welcome to the Sydney Dialogue. I would like to welcome ministers, CEOs and business community, heads of departments and senior policymakers, civil society, media and high commissioners and ambassadors. In particular, I thank and welcome our guests who have travelled from across the Indo-Pacific, Europe and North America to be here today for this important dialogue. Its second iteration and the first in person after the inaugural event was held online in late 2021 because of COVID-19. The Sydney Dialogue is already on its way to becoming the world's premier policy forum on critical and emerging cyber and space technologies. When we wanted to build this dialogue 4 years ago, not all stakeholders saw the global gap we were trying to fill, and it almost felt a bit before its time, with the team putting years into getting it off the ground, effectively a startup. Today, that gap is glaringly obvious and revealed daily in the news as we watch technology race ahead. Few today would argue against its value for Australia, the Indo-Pacific region, and post-Russia's war on Ukraine globally. Critical technologies are, of course, at the centre of strategic competition between states. But should society care? Absolutely, because those very technologies are already changing our daily lives, so knowing who is building and controlling the technologies we use every day is vital. The security, prosperity, political stability, and social harmony of nations and coalitions of nations will all depend on their ability to harness the promise and create clear parameters to guide the safe and responsible use of critical technologies. Quantum computing, for example, offers the potential to solve complex problems in seconds that would take the fastest supercomputer thousands of years. Such a breakthrough could render existing security measures obsolete and shift social and geopolitical relations overnight. Artificial intelligence has the promise of freeing us from both routine and complicated tasks, allowing individuals and organisations to focus on high-level strategic and creative endeavours. But it also involves the risk of the AI not understanding important nuances, for example in global geopolitics and human rights, that can lead to mis- and disinformation. And we are already seeing how AI can be weaponised to pollute our information environment with dangerous propaganda and deepfake technology. Beyond the technologies themselves, there are transformational shifts in how innovation is taking place and who is doing the innovating. During the Cold War, the research and development of critical technologies, particularly those relevant to security, were driven largely by huge government-funded programs in government-controlled facilities. Of course, only a small number of governments had the resources to generate cutting-edge technologies. Today, leading and bleeding-edge technologies are emerging out of commercial R&D programs, which means they are available to a wider range of strategic players, large and small. This complicates national efforts. Technology companies based in one country can, and in many cases do, work for the governments of other countries, even where the strategic goals of the two countries are misaligned. Innovation is also increasingly achieving a bootstrapping effect. As Eric Schmidt has written of artificial intelligence, faster aeroplanes did not help build faster aeroplanes, but faster computers will help build faster computers. Regulatory and policy responses are struggling to keep up. No single sector, be it government, the tech industry, or civil society, has all the answers. But democracies risk falling further behind as authoritarian regimes, without the same governance principles or accountability and transparency mechanisms, and with military-civil fusion, have surged ahead to the detriment of democratic ideals, social harmony, and international standards. While we thought the internet and social media were uncontrollable, they harness new capability to wield greater power. With yet another tech revolution imminent, we cannot afford to be slow and passive again. We have to learn from the past, or it will be a case of strike three. That's why the Sydney Dialogue was established in 2021. We need forums where the world's leading thinkers and decision makers from government, industry, academia, and civil society can meet and exchange ideas and strategies, deepen cooperation, and form new partnerships. While we're attuned to the threats and challenges, which of course will be discussed, we've very deliberately sought contributions from actors who have a positive and proactive vision for technology that upholds fundamental values such as human rights, openness, and sovereignty. Those players who share this vision must be the ones who shape the rules of the road. We don't want to see a lawless space, and we certainly don't want to see a technology ecosystem shaped by actors who are happy to use technology to spread disinformation, enable coercion, or trample fundamental individual rights. Over the next 2 days, we'll discuss how to harness the opportunities and mitigate the risks of technology. We'll talk about the benefits of international collaboration, ways to protect sovereignty and build resilience, policies to foster investment and innovation, the next game changers in technology, geopolitics and why technology lies at the heart of competition, and how we work together on governance and public policy. We'll discuss AI, 5G, 6G, robotics, biotech, nanotech, quantum space, our information environment, and of course, cyber. We'll talk about our economies, climate change and energy, our societies, foreign policy, national security, defence capability, intelligence and ethics, amongst many more topics. The goal of the Sydney Dialogue is to make a lasting contribution to ensuring these technologies grow in the right way, making us more prosperous, more equal, wiser, freer, safer and more secure, to give the Indo-Pacific a new platform and a greater voice in global debates, while helping to build cooperation and global partnerships between government, industry and civil society, and between partners and allies. I would like to thank our gold sponsors, the Australian Department of Foreign Affairs and Australian Department of Home Affairs, as well as our silver sponsor Optus and bronze sponsor Meta. Without the generous support of these partners, in particular ongoing support from the Australian Government, this dialogue would not be possible. I look forward to the discussions, the ideas and the partnerships that we will build over the coming days and far beyond.